Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with the legend of the design of the legend of Vox Machina. And last we saw was the world building of everything. We had the story, then the world, now we have the design. And the world was probably, like I said, the most spoilerific, and in my mind, they're all the right kind of spoilers if you want to fully get a better grasp and understanding of the show when it starts. Like I said in the last one, I feel like if you go in too blind on something like this, then you end up spending your first watch trying to get to understand everything. If you watch things like this that are mildly spoilery, if you consider that spoilers, I could see it being a spoiler, because in my mind, anything that takes you out of the blindness of it is a spoiler in some way. Like if you tell me that guy's name is Scanlan, it's a spoiler because I didn't get to learn and appreciate the understanding of his name and hearing it, and for the first time going, ooh, look at that. That looks like a Scanlan, because I've already said that like 500 times. But to me, that kind of stuff doesn't matter. I mean, if you really want to go deep into it, there's a lot of things that are spoilery, but I want to really experience this world. I want to dive in deep. I want to get to enjoy the snail crawling across a leaf behind them. I don't want to have to worry about learning Scanlan's name in the first episode. I want to know everything about him so I could love every detail of his personality and his charisma. But I'm going to jump into this. The design, in my mind, I'm assuming the design is going to be like, I don't know, because in the world building, they went really into the design of the animation and stuff like that. They showed how the guy like taps in. The equipment is unbelievable. Every time I see stuff like that, I even said it in the last one, I see stuff like that and I'm thinking, my God, that takes a long time and that's really talented. Imagine what people had to do back in the day when everything was like hand drawn and cells and stuff like that. Like this guy at least has the luxury of just being like, bop, 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 not taken away from his skill. I'm just saying, like, you could get so much more done so much faster. That's why we have so much content today, obviously. But the design episode has to go really deep into like how the characters look specifically and this and that. But I'd have to assume at some point, Critical Role themselves probably drew like fan fiction stuff or had like little mini shorts or something. I have to assume that at some point they or fans started drawing up what they thought the characters would look like way before this was an idea. I mean, I could be wrong. This could be the first animated looking thing, but people told me they even dressed up as their characters in campaigns, so they already had to have a theme and a look going, and I'm assuming artists probably drew up imagery way before, like I said, this was even a thing. So let's jump into the design end of things. Let's see where they go with this, and we'll talk at the end. You guys want to be way ahead, full unedited episodes of all the shows on the channel, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon, the links at the end. If not, jumping in. This is the legend of the design of the legend of Vox Machina.
There's something about Phil Bourassa that's incredibly contagious.
He's an amazing artist. He's an amazing designer.
This guy is a large part of every one of these episodes.
With his designs, it just solidified the characters in our heads on the page.
He's that good and he's that confident. I love drawing this stuff.
All right, so he's actually like the head designer of the animation. I love the music. Like, I don't even know if this music is the music in that. I assume it is.
We at Critical Role have been blessed with having our characters drawn by amateur and professional artists in the critter community for years.
He seems like such like a jokestery kind of guy.
Of
like he's always smiling and
There's
goofy.
been such a broad spectrum drawn. But when I found out that Phil Bourassa was going to be our official character designer.
All right, so they just explain what I said.
It was like a great weight had been taken off.
I was wondering how they did it.
I'm a huge fan of Phil Bourassa, as I have been for many, many years.
Guys, my brother is an animator. He went to school, Edinburgh University, very highly rated. Computer animation major.
I met Travis before.
I don't know anything about this shit.
About Critical
But I love it.
He was playing one of the heavies in a Batman movie I did all the character design for. I didn't talk to him after that for a few years.
I feel like I do recognize this guy.
We ran into each other. My wife and I were taking an early flight out of LAX
I love the music.
to go to JFK for New York Comic Con in 2018.
As the fates would have it, when Laura and I sat down, I hear this, Travis? And I look to my left, and across the aisle is Phil Bourassa just sitting right there. just in that moment,
I mean, he just looks like one of those guys that probably looks like everybody.
That we're developing.
Travis was like, would you be down to take a pass at these characters? And I was like, hell yeah.
I mean,
Just
I
something
have the
clicked
same
for me,
facial
drawing
makeup
this
and everything
stuff.
as him.
I'm just shy of 20 years now doing this.
He's redhead, though.
And I spent the last 11 consecutive years doing superheroes. If I'm known for anything, it's for the work that I did on the DC superheroes at Warner
Haven't
Bros.
seen
Animation.
it. I know of it. Haven't seen
But
it.
fantasy
I definitely
is my
recognize
first
him.
love.
Phil is so amazing, and he's worked on a lot of the.
I love how
superhero
they put
stuff
the subtitles
that
right
Travis
over their
and I have done in the
faces.
past.
Thank you.
His designs are phenomenal.
Oh, they were helping
So
with the work.
The fact that he came on board was
You.
a huge jump in excitement level for me.
I mean, the excitement was hard to contain. So
I
many
mean,
of
we
us
usually
were
have all the
fans
characters
of his
talking,
work
and
from
then
what
that other
he'd
dude with the
done
black
with
hat,
WB.
always in
I'm
everyone.
a huge Batman girl, and I love all of that.
I knew Phil's work before I knew that it was Phil's work. I've seen his animation before, and his character designs are gorgeous.
His design work is immaculate. His creativity is
The
brilliant.
When I heard
Game
that Phil was
Master.
gonna be on the
Is he
project, I was like,
Captain N?
yes, they've got it. This is
Matt
great. This is
Mercer.
perfect.
The
Phil is
Game
pretty much
Master.
a legend in the animation industry out here, and the idea that he would be coming on to the project with us, I don't think I even believed it at first.
My reaction to Phil Bourassa was like, no fucking
Whoa,
way.
sir. There is no cursing. What if they fired him for cussing?
There was something about the project that.
What
spoke
is
to me
Scanlan? An
on
elf?
A deeper personal.
He's
level
like
that
I don't think
willing
I
to
don't know.
take a
He's got to be
chance
something else.
on
I don't feel like
working
he's
with
just
a
an elf.
completely new creative team. Critical Role presented this opportunity to be at the ground floor of something relatively new and fresh. And even though the lore was clearly well defined and the characters were well defined, there was so much to explore on a
What?
visual level.
Oh.
Normally, when I'm creating
Vox
a
Machina
design,
Origins?
it
Was that
comes
a
from the written word,
comic
or
book?
comic book, or even just the writer's script. These characters come from the imagination and the heart and the soul of the
is all this
voice
stuff?
actors, the cast members, who are the
Was that like
creators and
a
founders,
commercial
right?
for
So
the
they were
campaign or
very
something?
involved.
That was them
Yeah,
as the characters.
I had a lot of input. I mean, I gave notes on the feathers. I gave notes on the hair. I gave notes about how much she wants to use her feminine wiles. So, I didn't want her to be too brazen.
So much is determined by the performances.
Brazen. We know what
the
that means.
Creators had imbued in their creation.
He looks
the way
a lot like
Laura's
Kratos too. I
performance
feel like. I feel like
informs
Drax mixed
the
with
way that I
Kratos.
draw the character. She's got to have some sass. She's got to have some attitude. Whereas Keyleth has this charming naivete, like an innocent aspect.
Every time we pull up an image or a turnaround of Keyleth, everyone in the room is just like, oh, she's so cute. She's just a little button. And I think because Keyleth has this fresh look at the world, we really wanted to reflect that in her.
Is she like
character
naive
design.
and stuff?
Even his first
I'm curious
designs and
now.
his first
Is she
stab
like
at Scanlan
naive,
was kind of
or is she
perfect.
just
I don't
like
think we
very
changed that
trusting?
much.
He
We were
looks
just
awesome.
nitpicking
Like,
on
I love the
collar
look.
size and hair shape. Everything else, like Phil's first takes are.
He just has
everybody
like this
else's
look of
10th
like
take.
a
First
badass,
stuff I saw
but
of
like in
Grog,
a like
the
super
frame is
deformed,
right,
like
the
an RPG
expressions
old
were
school.
right, and he just
Obviously,
gets
he's
the bearing
something
of the guy,
of-
because it's so
I don't
easy
know.
to make
See
a
something.
hulking figure look intimidating. But Grog has to be able to convey both the rage and the fury
Of a strong
jaw,
jaw.
but also like the warmth and the gentle nature of Grog.
He's kind of the Hulk, but he's kind of not. There's a cuteness to Grog too. So there were things that we played.
I'm
with,
assuming
like
he's
size
also
and
not
fears.
nearly as powerful
Phil
as the
did
Hulk, or is
such
he
a good
like
job with just
unstoppable?
The nuance
I'm assuming that'd be
of
too
each of the
much plot armor.
characters' personalities coming through. Pike's hair color to the color of her armor and the little scrapes on her armor, and
It's a
he
great
just took
look,
it to
and
the
it
next
looks
level.
like her,
They've
like
created
like
these
an
original
animated
characters,
version
but
of her
they're
if
also
you
very archetypal.
made her medieval
Like
with a
Percy
knight's
and
armor.
Vax are dexterity builds, so they're very lithe and long to kind of bring out to show the agility and the dexterity inherent in the class.
Percival is a character that Phil grasped so quickly and understood how everything was supposed
he's
to lie,
Percival.
especially when standing
See,
with
I'm thinking
everybody else has a very
I'm thinking
unique
Percy,
look
like,
and a unique vibe.
I know it's very
Excellent
similar.
at
I'm
what
an
he
idiot.
does, and both with Vax and with all these characters.
He's the
he
guy
has
that
come
was-
in
that's why I
landed pretty
recognize him.
close
He's
to
the
the
guy in
target
the
already,
cast.
And then, we're able to sort of shoot ideas back and forth, and then the next week it's there.
He was on the
It's been really
casting
cool working with
call.
him to
He had the
kind of
purplish
take these
shirt,
characters that
the hair.
don't just live in my brain, but each one of them has a part of me in them, and then have them come back.
That's
even
the first
prettier than
image
could
I
ever
ever
hope
saw.
Watching him dive
I
into
used
this
it in my
fantasy
trailer
landscape,
reaction.
Phil's just flexing. He's having a blast.
Phil's had tons of leeway to just create kind of whatever his mind can dream up. Something that's really important about this animated series is we wanted it to be definitely and distinctly an adult series. It's for grown-ups. So we wanted to make sure that the world, the background, the atmosphere, and the character designs both sort of read as sophisticated, mature.
We definitely want to make sure that this show feels unique, and I think Phil was well aware of that and totally down to just try anything.
I got lost
Throw
in it.
ideas
I
at the
literally
wall
just
and
like
see what
started
sticks.
turning my head
Phil's
and
designs
traveling
capture
through
the
time.
kineticism and flow of the best that Japanese animation has to offer, while feeling uniquely Western and uniquely, honestly, uniquely themselves.
See, if his
Phil
hair
stuff
looked like it did in the
definitely leans
casting
way
thing, I would
more
have
in the
immediately. It
anime
just threw me
direction.
off.
And anime itself is kind of like part of the DNA of Titmouse's look and culture. All of us
I could see
here
that.
watch a shit
Reminds
ton of
me of,
anime, so
Wander
he
Over
almost
Yonder.
was a perfect fit in the sense that he's looking at the same exact kind of stuff and incorporating that into his designs.
He just came to this with a vigor and an excitement that we couldn't help but be excited.
That
alongside
reminds
him.
me of
There
something
almost
like
couldn't be a
something
better
Disney.
match
The
as far as
maybe
Western
like
character designers than Phil.
We are
Maleficent?
pouring every ounce of passion,
Kinda like a
and
Maleficent
love
thing.
and creativity that we have at our disposal into trying to bring
I
this
love how he's
world
just
to
like-
life.
Whenever I see it, it looks like Bill and Ted. Be
You kinda got
excellent
the
to
sense
each
of
other.
an athlete sort of stretching. He's really just starting to break out of anything that he's done before. It's only limited by what your imagination can envision, and for Phil, there is no shortage of that.
I really have not experienced anything this good in animation.
Are there toys? I feel like if there's not, that's coming next.
I think we're only really getting started with him.
I've never
He's
seen
blown
that,
us out of
Princess
the water with
Mononoke.
Everything that we have in season 1. God's help us for what's in store in season 2.
God help us, Grog. There's gonna be an Amazon thing next because I've seen it 3 times now. Boom. So there we go. We have the design end of things, and it's pretty much what I thought. And I like that right off the bat, they answered all my questions. I said, I got to assume that the Critical Role people or fans themselves in mass numbers have probably come up with fictional drawings or even maybe confirmed accounts of what they look like. Critical Role said themselves, or somebody in one of the videos that I watched said that they did campaign live streams dressed as their characters, looking in costume. I'm assuming they did makeup and everything. So there's got to be a understanding of what they're somewhat looking like. And then, like I said, I assumed that Critical Role themselves or fans have drawn millions of ideas. I mean, they could even take a standard look and then just put different like skins on them or different costumes and stuff like that. So I'm assuming there is hundreds, if not thousands of images to go off of before they even got a animator to do it. But now they hire this guy Phil, who apparently is very well known and does a lot of things. I'm not big in the animation world. It's funny because I said it during the show, but my brother went to Edinburgh University, which I don't know anything about universities or rankings or anything, but I'm told it's one of the best or the best animation university in the United States. It's not in Edinburgh, Scotland. It's in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania. So he went out there back when he was like 19 and then ended up living in Pennsylvania, and he's been there ever since, and he's in his 40s now. So he's lived there now more than he has in New Jersey. He's lived there more than half his life, and he's an animator. He would know everything that's going on here. He would probably know this guy. He would probably appreciate everything so much more than I do, just for the sake of the love of his animation. But I love everything for different reasons. I love it because of the passion I see these people have for it. I like that they showed these are the images and the things and the ways people saw these characters, and then they let Phil have complete control over what his view and his idea of it was. Now, they said, we gave him ideas like, I think she should have a feather or look this way or have a certain amount of look in her attitude with her facial expressions or vice versa with the guys. I said it in the episode, but I'm just pointing it out again because I want people in the comments to comment on it and tell me. I can't help but think, the second I thought of it, I'm like, it's got to be a reference to that because I don't typically see that often. I mean, it could be something totally unrelated, but when Scanlan is going like this, it's almost like Bill and Ted when they're going like, be excellent to each other, like, blah, I forget what Bill always says or Ted, but they do that, and Scanlan's doing that, and these people are probably around my age, maybe a little older. I just turned 40 in October, so I feel like these people are at least around that age, so I feel like they would think the same way as me, have the same nostalgic tones based on the fact they look like kids at heart like I am. Like, I feel like the reason I do all this is because I'm still a kid at heart. I like keeping in touch with games and animation and movies, anything media-wise I like keeping in touch with, not just because I want to be in the loop or feel cool or connect with younger people. I just feel like I'm a kid at heart. Like, I just love those things. That's what makes me want to make money and work and succeed, is so I can do more of this stuff because that's what I enjoy. It's kind of like them. Then I can make money doing what I love and do more of it as opposed to having to work 2 jobs to do this for fun. So we're going to jump into the next one. The next one is number 4 in the running. We did story, world, design is what we're on right now, and we are finishing. And next we're going to do the voices of The Legend of Vox Machina. So we're going to jump into that next, and then we're going to finish with the music end, and then we'll talk, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'm sure there's more videos that we could do after that. So you guys let me know. Let me know about the crew and A's. I saw they did episodes for a lot of them. They were in between doing a lot. So you guys let me know if I should avoid them or if I should watch them after we react to the episodes. Some of you have had to watch them. Maybe some of you don't want to watch them either. Fear of spoilers, but some of you had to have seen them. Go check it out if you haven't on Critical Role's channel and let me know. I'm assuming they're spoilerific. You guys want to see more of what I do, full on edited reactions, all the shows on the channel, Patreon link in front of me. If you're seeing it on YouTube, we are seasons ahead on most of the shows and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see there, Patreon link in front. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.